There are over 1,000 Pokemon, but only a handful of them have been deemed worthy enough for serious VGC play. Among the remaining bunch, glimmers of viability flash through the crowd. Maybe, with a little polishing up, we can make them shine. These are the VGC rejects.
Friends were reminded that there are many ways for humans and Pokemon to communicate, and that the most important way is with their hearts.
Sudowoodo, the imitation Pokemon, is our first subject. Personally, it's a favorite of mine. I'm basically a sucker for any Johto Pokemon. But can Sudowoodo be as impenetrable of a wall for my opponents as it was for me before I got the squirt bottle? Let's start with the problems, aka why it is currently sitting at 0.01% usage in Regulation F. First, the typing. Mono Rock is just not in a great spot at the moment. Landorus, Urshifu, Rillaboom, 4 Ogerpons. The mons that wreck this typing are abundant. Second, the special bulk is just not enough in such a strong metagame. Really, Sudowoodo suffers just from being a Gen 2 Pokemon. Power creep has rendered even its stronger stats more middling. Base 100 attack is not the flex that it used to be, and even that 115 defense stat is flimsier than it looks when so many premier physical attackers have super effective attacks into our wannabe tree. Combine this with its super low speed, and you can see how it can be hard to figure out where to even start with Sudowoodo. But let's talk about what Sudowoodo can do, starting with that base 30 speed. That is abysmally slow, but in Trick Room, that's really good. Speed tying with Amoonguss makes you one of the fastest, slowest Pokemon under Trick Room, and naturally resisting Torkoal's stab attacks is another bonus. Sudowoodo has 2 decent abilities, and at first glance, Sturdy looks better. A built-in Focus Sash sounds tempting, but Rockhead is going to end up being better in the long term. Listen, if Sudowoodo is going to be any good, it has to be able to fully take advantage of those few turns of Trick Room. Rockhead lets you run the insanely powerful Head Smash attack without worry of taking recoil damage, and also lets you slot the powerful Wood Hammer onto the set. This dual combo of Head Smash and Wood Hammer has surprisingly few resistances, and Terra Grass only makes the combo better. Throw on Sucker Punch for priority, and Sudowoodo has an all-out attacking set that might actually do some real damage. I gave my Sudowoodo Clear Amulet to avoid Intimidate cycling, and maxed out its attack and HP EVs. I think you're going to be surprised at how hard Sudowoodo can hit even these shiny new Paldean Pokemon. Now, without going into too much detail, the rest of the team is a full-on Trick Room team, focusing on super powerful spread moves to sweep in a matter of turns. This team is like a freight train. It may take a little to get going, but if it gets moving, there's basically no stopping it. All aboard with Sudowoodo. Alright, game 1. Really what I'm looking for is, basically, I'm either going to lead Incineroar Farigiraf or Sudowoodo Farigiraf. So I have to look first to see if Sudowoodo will work, just because that's what I want to use for this video. What beats Sudowoodo here is Rillaboom if I don't Terra, Ogerpon if I don't Terra, but it does match up pretty well into Walking Wake and Gouging Fire. But really, I think I'm going to want to start with Incineroar and Farigiraf. But because of the good matchup, I will bring Sudowoodo in the back, and there are some good resists to Torkoal here, so I think it's going to be Ursaluna. Okay, this is good. Leading Sudowoodo here would have been rough. Whimsicott is basically shut down because of the Armor Tail ability. I could go for Fake Out, but I don't love doing that. I'm gonna make a call here and say that I have the pace basically to get a Snarl off, and I'm really afraid that Farigiraf isn't going to be able to live a double up from both. Okay, Protect means I definitely could have gotten Trick Room up, which is tough. Sunny Day probably. Oh no, it was Moonblast. I can't risk Sunny Day into Hydro Steam, so I have to be really careful here. I just am not sure that I'm going to be able to survive here with Farigiraf, so I think my real only option is to try to reposition here. So I'm gonna go... I think unfortunately I have to sack Sudowoodo here. There's the Sunny Day that I was afraid of, and I think it's called Hydro Steam. Ooh, oh, terrible play by me. Oh, just awful. Really? That's surprising. If I get Trick Room up there, I just win. All right, well, basically I have to hope for a misplay here. I have to go for Trick Room now, and I basically just have to hope that they target down the Sudowoodo. So let's see. This is not an ideal position. I really felt like they were going to play more conservatively here, but it seems like they were almost happy to let me get Trick Room up. Let's see. Energy Ball, big damage. Oh, but they do Hydro Steam into Sudowoodo. I feel like that was a huge misplay. Now we essentially have to win in these 4 remaining turns. I'm afraid they're going to protect Walking Wake here. So I'm going to make it, I have to make big plays here if I'm going to win. Let's see, they do not protect, but it still might be okay depending on who they target. Great damage there. And Hydro Steam does go into Sudowoodo. So while it did faint early, Sudowoodo did pick up a KO. That head smash is just so strong. And I think I will have the turns to win here. Ursaluna is going to show off just how strong spread moves can be, especially in a Trick Room setup. And they don't have any Pokemon with Wide Guard or anything like that. Rillaboom, not worried about that. Though I actually think I have a... Rather than going for Helping Hand here, I think I'll just go for Dazzling Gleam. And then I'll Terra Normal and I'll just try to snipe the Rillaboom, basically. Oh, this loses to Terrestrialization on Walking Wake. That is provided that they can one-hit KO me, but I do think that they would be able to, even if it's not a super effective move. Let's see, they do Terrestrialize. That is not good for me. Okay, but it is Rillaboom. And to Terra Fire, I don't understand that. So let's see. I really feel like Life Orb Blood Moon should KO here, especially with the double up. Blood Moon, just a crazy strong attack. Oh, and that is gonna do it, unless they're Berry. But they're not, and Dazzling Gleam should pick up the KO. Nice, and I think that's just gonna seal it here. Helping Hand, Terra Normal Hyper Voices are just gonna rip through the rest of the team. I don't really understand that Terra, unless it's just to take advantage of the sun that Whimsicott set up, if it had like Terra Blast or something. My best move here, 2 turns of Trick Room, is just Walking Wake's gonna get picked off. I think I'm just gonna go for Helping Hand, Hyper Voice. Helping Hand, they can go for the double, but they need a triple at this point, basically. Yep, it's the right play by them. Let's see. And that is just so strong from Ursaluna Blood Moon. And that's gonna be a win. It really goes to show how This team is not particularly complicated, and I think it could be very easily beat. But if you take your eyes off of the prize that is stopping me from getting Trick Room up, it can just turn in an instant. Okay, game 2 here. Immediately something that stands out is that I believe Gallade gets access to Wide Guard and also to Trick Room. And so between Gallade and Fergaraf, I think they have a lot of options to stop Trick Room from going up, which is highly concerning. Okay, let's look at game 3 here. Metagross is strong, and Sudowoodo does not really have any answers into it, other than Sucker Punch. The Sudowoodo match up well. It does into a number of the other Pokemon, so it could be worth bringing. Okay, Metagross Landorus is an interesting one. I just have this hunch that they're not going to double for a Giraffe. I feel like it's just so tempting for Landorus to essentially try to get big damage onto Incin that I'm willing to sort of just go for it here. And I have to Parting Shot Landorus and I'll Trick Room. Let's see. I could lose right on the spot. Okay, looks like I'm probably going to lose right on the spot. Yep, okay. Absolutely abysmal play by me. But let's think, is there a way we can still be in this? Ooh, without Torkoal, it's gonna be really hard. Man, it was just getting greedy, getting over predictive. Ah, this is just bad. No speed advantage. I think they're gonna protect Metagross. Let's see, I could get a big read here and snipe off Landorus. It's not really like Metagross really scares me. I mean, Heavy Slam's like crazy strong. Ooh. If this is also protect, that's just a hard read and good on them. Okay, no. So I will pick off Landorus, I think. I don't know, maybe I'm too confident in Blood Moon's strength. No, that does KO. So that's big. That's a Mon for free right there. It's 3-3, but I'm just not gonna have the speed advantage basically all game. Okay, Entei I feel like I can work with here. I feel safe to go for Protect and hard switch the Incin out. That might be sacking Sudowoodo, which actually would be really bad. Is it okay if Incin goes down? It's really not. I essentially have to play risky here. Let's try. I need them to attack into Ursaluna with Ogerpon specifically. Okay, they do. That's huge. Because this will allow me to Intimidate Cycle. And Snarl, that's even better. Okay. So the reason that I Parting Shot it into Entei is it's basically the only way to drop its attack stat because its Inner Focus blocks Intimidate. Okay, so now Sudowoodo comes in and we basically have to win on a hard prediction. I think I have to Terra Grass, but I'm really risking Entei. I'm really risking Entei going for Sacred Fire onto Sudowoodo to try to fish for the burn. I feel like the hardest read I can make here... No, okay. It's Terra Grass and it's Head Smash the Entei. Because with Terra Grass, if they for some reason don't Sacred Fire into Sudowoodo, I basically wall Ogerpon, which is huge. Okay, so they're both at -1. So I don't think I should be losing anything right now. They don't Terra, which is really big. I was really tempted to make a hard read for the Terra Water on the Ogerpon, but I didn't really see a reason that they needed to. Okay, this is expected. I should live. Okay, surely a crit. Yes, okay, that's brutal. That's gonna spell doom right there, because I would have survived the turn. And now I bet Sacred Fire gets redirected. Oh, but it misses? No, it doesn't. And it's, let me guess, it burns too, right? Okay, no burn is big, but I really needed that HP. Okay. Let me think. What are they gonna do? I need to get rid of Ursaluna if I'm them. One thing I consider if I'm them is protecting Metagross and Ivy cudgeling into Ursaluna. I think I'm gonna call that's what they're gonna do. I could go for Sucker Punch onto Metagross, but that's just too risky. I have to go for big damage though. So let's try Head Smash into Ogerpon. Oh, I should have Wood Hammered. Because if they Terra Water, oh, that was bad. Please don't Terra. Ursaluna Protect. Okay, so they didn't even protect Metagross, so I do think that I lost here. Okay, I was right about that. Now let's see. Does Heavy Slam KO Psychic Fangs? No, okay. I was not going to win. But if Incin had survived, I think I actually had a shot here. Wouldn't it be crazy if the double up somehow didn't KO? Anyway, GG's to my opponent. I really feel like I had a shot there after an abysmal start to the game. Okay, so immediately there is Weather against Torkoal, so that is going to spell trouble. Because the thing about Sudowoodo, I'm definitely planning to Terrastalize it in this matchup, because it really turns that destruction that Rain does, and for example, like the Ogerpon that they have, into a probably winning matchup, especially under Trick Room for Sudowoodo. We haven't run into a lot of Intimidate, so I haven't been able to show off the Clear Amulet that Sudowoodo has, which has been kind of a bummer. It can be a really big sort of tool to catch people off guard. What's really surprising is I bring Torkoal a ton into the matchups that I play on Showdown with this team, but it just hasn't looked super great into these. I mean, especially this one with Pelipper Rain, but let's see what they lead with. Okay, Size Spam it was, and that bodes well for me. Even better, I feel completely empowered to... Oh, they could have Imprisoned Trick Room. I actually forget that that in DD gets access to Imprison, so, but I still feel good to just click Snarl and Protect and just see what they want to do. Neither of these Pokemon do anything to threaten Incineroar, so I feel very safe to just sort of sit back and see what they have. Well, actually, Terra Water, Terra Blast would be bad, but as I thought, I don't think that's going to happen this turn. Let's see. I'm expecting Tachyon Cutter. Focus Blast. Oh, wow. That would have just been insane. Okay, but now we have what we were looking for. Can I use Focus Blast to my advantage? That knowledge? Not really. All my opponents in the back, or my Pokemon in the back, are weak to that. I imagine they could protect Iron Crown, so let's just Trick Room and go forward. Helping Hand. If they're really just sniping Instant, that doesn't really do much for them. Focus Blast. At this point, like, I don't think that's gonna KO. Yeah, it's just not super effective. Okay, Parting Shot. So I really want to bring out Sudowoodo, but it is just not the right idea here. Ursaluna, I just can't risk sort of Trick Room going back up or any number of things. And Ursaluna, I believe, I really want to say with Terra Normal, with Helping Hand, I want to say that it will KO Iron Crown. Sorry, said that weird. Even if it is a not very effective attack, but let's see. Okay, what was a Sudowoodo team has quickly turned into showing how strong Ursaluna Blood Moon can be. Helping Hand, a Protect here would be nice. Let's see, no Protect, let's see if this KOs. My gut says probably. Ooh, okay, definitely not. But at -1, I just don't, it's not gonna KO even with Expanding Force. But that's also my gut, and my gut was just wrong. Focus Blast now. It's not Stab, it's just not gonna do enough. Yep. I believe they brought Rain for fear of Torkoal. So I expect Pelipper, yep, or Urshifu. Now Urshifu is Dark type, which makes my life really easy because they can't use Sucker Punch. Sorry, complete brain short out there. And I can try to break Sash with Dazzling Gleam. So let's see. Okay, they don't do anything, basically just taking the loss. Okay, there goes Urshifu. That does infinite damage compared to what I had left. I feel like the obsession with Focus Blast was just wrong here. 2 turns of trick, it's just too much. I really want to get Sudowoodo in here, but I just have to take the win. We can do one more. I'm gonna get a good Sudowoodo game. Yeah, okay. Forfeit then. Okay, so Dozogiri is an archetype that I have run across a fair number of times. Essentially, Incin is really good with Intimidate into everything but Fluttermane. I don't hate how Sudowoodo matches up into a lot here, so I will bring Sudowoodo. Chien-Pao Blaziken, okay. I love the Incineroar Farigiraf lead for me. That is huge. Oh, Clear Amulet, very interesting. Okay, here, unlike all the time, I feel fairly confident Terra Fairy is just gonna make sure that I can get Trick Room up. Yeah, I think I just have to. I can't risk them having, see, this is Terra Ghost for sure. And then I've been seeing Lash Out so much that I just sort of have to stop it here. I feel like the number of times that I've seen Terra Ghost turn 1 from Chien-Pao is incalculable. Farigiraf is online. This will limit Terra options later, especially in Dondozo Tatsugiri matchups, but we'll see. Oh, literally the best case scenario. Oh, very interesting. Okay, well, it's a bummer that I used my Terra too early. Parting Shot. Okay, I feel like they're gonna protect Chien-Pao next turn no matter what, so I'm really tempted to go Sudowoodo and just Helping Hand Head Smash the Blaziken. I know technically this just isn't optimizing Trick Room turns, and that could come back to bite me later. But I'm not 100% sure. I know for a fact that with Sword of Ruin, this is just going to be crazy strong. Head Smash, missing Head Smash here would just be ruthless. We have very similar looking avatars. Okay, so this is just going to do nutty damage to whatever comes in. Let's see. Oh, really? Oh, that is brutal. Well, they got the switches right. That was really risky for them. I could have gotten a ton of damage off. Ah, okay. Okay, what's really good is I know for a fact that Helping Hand Blood Moon does like 60%. So I'm sort of tempted to sack Sudowoodo if I have enough turns. 3 turns of Trick Room. I'm gonna sack Sudowoodo. I'm just gonna get the Wood Hammer damage off. So that's good. I imagine it's going to order up Sudowoodo, probably. This should do a bunch. Oh, okay, not a bunch. Please KO. Ooh, even worse. Worst case scenario. Are they leftovers? They are leftovers, so they're not rest. Okay, let's think. Essentially, I need to whittle this down now. So Incin's gonna come in. I have to whittle this down, and more importantly, you have to time Trick Room really well. Farigiraf plus Incin with Intimidate means that I can position myself really well. So for example, this lets me get a free Fake Out plus Wood Hammer next turn, which is great. So we'll get more chip down. Now Order Up does mean that they can boost their attack, but if I do this just right, I should be okay. Protect Sudowoodo, hard switch back to Farigiraf. That blocks any potential order ups. Man, playing Dondozo is just a completely different way of thinking about this, but it's really cool how if I do everything just right, I can try to optimize those Trick Room turns that I have, which is gonna make or break the game. I'm not really afraid about getting through Dondozo. It's about what the game looks like when I do get through it and whether I can sweep. Best case scenario is an order up into either Protect or Farigiraf. Okay, Wave Crash also works. So it doesn't look like they're going for order up. Wave Crash is scary, but I should live it with Incin. And I am going for Trick Room. because Heavy Slam is definitely not going to KO without a critical hit. Heavy Slam is an interesting choice. I don't see that a ton. This is now Dondozo will be at -1. Okay, Wave Crash. Okay. Definitely a crit, but I'm not actually sure that's the worst thing in the world. Because now Trick Room's up. They took recoil damage, and I think they're in range of helping hand Blood Moon. Now, if they're not, I'm in a lot of trouble. So I know with Terra, it does like 70%, even at +2. So without Terra on my Ursaluna, I am hopeful that it can cop that 50% after they protect this turn. Ooh, but if they protect this turn, oh, this is really risky because then I can't go for Blood Moon the next turn. Do I read the protect here? I'm gonna go for something crazy. I'm gonna read their protect. Let's see. I think I win here if they protect. Okay, that's huge. That's gonna swing the game here. Now, I will say, not having Incin for the 2 Mons in the back is really, really bad. But this first of all, this has to KO. A double protect here would be really cheeky by them. They don't. So this has to KO. Okay, it does. That's massive. That saves me multiple turns of Trick Room. As long as there's 2 turns, I think I have this. Hyper Voice, huge damage. Oh, okay, no, I think this loses. Dang. Oh, Blaziken with just a sliver left. And now they can protect to stall out Trick Room, and now I'm in real trouble. Does this KO? Oh, if it somehow didn't KO. Wait, I think I have a shot here. I think I actually have a shot here. Okay, so Sucker Punch might save me. Let's do Head Smash and Dazzling Gleam with the expectation that they're going to double protect. This is huge. If they target Sudowoodo, I'm just not sure that I win. Sudowoodo going down is just really bad because I just don't know that I have the damage. Okay, Sucker Punch picks up the KO. And I suspect they're gonna attack into Frigoraph. Okay, this shouldn't KO. Okay, I think that should be it. Yeah, Head Smash plus Dazzling Gleam. Can't I just Sucker Punch forever? No, I don't think it does enough damage. Head Smash, let's see. Huge damage, okay. Look at that. And a good game for Sudowoodo. Got huge damage onto Dondozo. And finishes off, I mean, basically, Chien-Pao was Focus Sash anyway. Finishes off Blaziken. I mean, it showed off the full package there. Okay, I mean, probably better than you were expecting, right? I mean, it is just a tree. I would say a tree that moves, but sort of makes a habit out of not moving. So, I mean, look at him. It's not a world beater, but not taking recoil from such strong moves like Wood Hammer and Head Smash, and being able to have stab on both of them with Terrestrialization, this combined with that super, super low speed, makes Sudowoodo more viable than you're thinking. I mean, on like an actual viability chart of Regulation F Pokemon, it's gonna be like a D to F tier, but it really, when set up properly, so I feel like a lot of Mons are like, well, if you set them up just right and you have just right matchup, they're gonna do well. And I feel like that's basically every Mon, but Sudowoodo actually fits into a Trick Room team in a way where it's not like, okay, we have to get Trick Room up and then we have to get the perfect setup around it and the right environment. It's more plug and play in a Trick Room team than sort of a more gimmicky Mon. And for that, I didn't feel as much like I was forcing the Mon for this team or this video, as much as I was expecting that I would have to. But anyway, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you thought Sudowoodo really lived up to it, and also let me know what you thought of the new format. I know it's not, 100% original, but I really want to get better at sort of this live commentary thing, and I really like playing VGC, and these sorts of videos let me play VGC and make content that doesn't take nearly as long as sort of filming videos and then sort of doing the commentary afterwards like I have done before. So I'm going to keep doing this. If you have any mons that you think would be really funny to see a strategy for, or you just like a lot, I'm more than happy to incorporate them in. And also, please tell me what you think I could do better. I mean, beyond the obvious of having a hard time sort of stringing together coherent thoughts, which is not original to my gameplay commentary. It extends into my everyday life too. Yeah, any thoughts on sort of even stuff like how you can edit it to be more interesting, or anything you can sort of add to differentiate it from the plethora of really good team and commentary content. So anyway, that's about it. And I guess I'll tell you the next one for this will use Dodrio on a team that is way more variable, which is a kind way of saying terrible, than this Sudowoodo one was. But anyway, if you enjoyed, liking and subscribing really helps a lot. My name is Slam Gaming, and as always, have a great rest of your day. See you next time. From me and from Sudowoodo. Thanks.